Hi, this is Nanette Hosenfeld with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, July 30th, 2021. Looking at fire potential impacts over the next few days, we are expecting showers and thunderstorms to continue across the majority of the area into the weekend. The area, or the day with probably the most potential impacts, is today, where there is the possibility for a mix of wet and dry thunderstorms across central Idaho and far northwestern Nevada. Moving into tomorrow, we see deeper moisture, and those storms will become mostly wet. That continues into Sunday. The main impact on Saturday and Sunday will be the potential for debris flows or flash flooding near recent burn scars. Today, the greatest impacts near the surface from smoke will be across western Nevada and central Idaho. That will impact visibility and air quality as we move into tomorrow afternoon. Conditions are expected to improve across central and southern Idaho. However, a larger portion of Nevada will be impacted from smoke, mainly from the Dixie Fire on Saturday. Looking at the upper levels, this is the 6,000 foot smoke forecast. You can see again the areas of greatest impact today will be across portions of central and southern Idaho and far western Nevada. And then as we move into Saturday, looking to see some improvement across portions of Nevada, however, thicker smoke overall across central and southern Idaho on Saturday. Over the past 24 hours, there has been very widespread showers and thunderstorms across much of the Great Basin. You can see some pretty impressive precipitation totals with those storms. The image on the left shows the radar estimated precipitation, so some of those really dark red colors probably aren't quite as high as what the radar is estimating. However, there are some high totals in there. We'll take a closer look at the observations here in just a minute. Really widespread lightning across the area, especially across central and southern Utah, eastern Utah, where there were quite a few lightning strikes. Those areas have had quite a bit of rain over the past 1 and 2 weeks. However, we are still seeing some new starts with all that lightning. So taking a look at the precipitation observations over the past 24 hours, this is a more zoomed in look. If those numbers are a little too small to read, there are a couple of raw stations in the southern southeastern Idaho mountains reporting 0.3 to 0.6 inches of precipitation in the past 24 hours. There's an observation in southern Idaho of over an inch of precipitation. And then moving down into Utah, looking at some areas in the higher terrain of northern Utah reporting between 0.3 and 0.7 inches. And then more widespread, around 1 to 2 tenths of precipitation. So these were wet storms. However, there were some drier storms mixed in, especially across portions of central Idaho and northwestern Nevada. As I mentioned earlier, with all of the lightning that we've received, we are still seeing some new starts, even across the central and southern part of the Great Basin, where we have seen above normal precipitation. Taking a look at that precipitation over the past 7 and 30 days, you can see really quite a bit of precipitation across the central and southern part of the area, especially southern Utah. There have been reports of flash flooding across central and southern Utah with all of the precipitation and the heavier thunderstorms. ERCs have responded to this precipitation. Those ERCs are below the 50th percentile across much of the central and southern part of the Great Basin. Still a different story across the northern part of the Great Basin, where ERCs are above the 80th percentile. ERCs have begun to trend downward across central and southern Idaho. However, you can see the far northern part of those central Idaho mountains in our area still are above the 90th percentile. This is comparing ERCs from a week ago compared to today. So the image on the right is observations showing up on the map today. The image on the left is from a week ago. Not too much change in the central and southern part of the Great Basin. Things have been yellow and green there for quite some time. However, it is interesting to look at the northern part of the Great Basin, and despite the showers and thunderstorms we've seen, you can see again the central Idaho mountains do have higher ERCs now than we were looking at a week ago. This shows up in the trend lines. You can see again GB4. Those ERCs have been trending up over the past 1 or 2 weeks. That is in contrast to GB25, which has seen a pretty rapid decrease in ERCs over the past week. These are live fuel moisture images from around the Great Basin in southwestern Idaho. Looking at that blue line, which is, those are observations from this year. You can see we're still below average, but a little above our record low values along the Sierra Mountains. You can see those the sagebrush live fuel moisture right around normal, and then a little bit surprising is the sites in southern Utah where quite a few are reporting below normal sagebrush moisture. So with all of the precipitation we have had, it still has been a bit spotty as far as those where those thunderstorms have occurred. Looking at the satellite this morning, you can see pretty widespread cloud cover across the Great Basin. We do have mostly clear skies across northwestern Nevada and southern Idaho. We are expecting to see storms develop in those areas this afternoon. So looking at today in more detail, see a really large area of deep moisture across much of the Great Basin. That is the green on our map. And because that moisture is expected to be so deep, storms will be mostly wet, and we have no high risk issue for today. Now this is looking at our expected lightning forecast. Again, really widespread lightning today, showers and thunderstorms. Most of those will be accompanied by wetting rain. Moving into Saturday, still keeping that moisture in place across the Great Basin, looking at another day of widespread thunderstorms across the Great Basin. Again, most of these storms will be accompanied by wetting rain, and really one of the main concerns is the potential for debris flows near recent burn scars. This is looking at the precipitable water anomaly. It's basically just the amount of water in the atmosphere. The red colors on the map are pointing to values that haven't been seen this time of year in over 30 years. So really an unusually moist air mass in place this weekend across the northern part of the Great Basin, where typically we don't see this much moisture at this time of the year. So moving to Sunday, still keeping that moisture in place across the Great Basin. Almost all of the areas on our map have gone green. Again, looking at Sunday afternoon, just another day of widespread showers and thunderstorms across the Great Basin. Over the next 3 days, relative humidity values really climb. This is afternoon relative humidity. You can see by Sunday afternoon, the entire Great Basin is expected to have minimum afternoon relative humidities above 30%. So even areas that don't see precipitation will see a period of much higher relative humidities. Over the next 3 days, quite a bit of precipitation expected across the Great Basin, notably in those areas of Idaho that have been quite dry. As we move to Monday, we start to see some drier air make its way into this southwestern part of the Great Basin. That trend continues into Tuesday with drier air moving into play. And on Wednesday, still keeping that dry air in place across the Great Basin. And on Thursday, again, much drier. So we are looking at a drier period next week. Over the next 7 days, again, some pretty impressive precipitation totals expected. This is maybe implying more widespread precipitation than we'll see. Not every single part of the Great Basin will see precipitation. With thunderstorms, it's always, specific areas receiving that moisture, but looking at a long period of showers and thunderstorms across much of the area. Looking further out towards the middle of August, the Climate Prediction Center is calling for a warmer and drier period, so we'll have to keep our eyes on the weather pattern, because if this is the case, there would be concern for the potential for holdovers after such a long period of widespread lightning. That's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter. Thanks.